Hey guys, welcome back. So ChatGPT, thank you very much if you click into my video because I know this is like one of the millions video on the internet about ChatGPT, and of course it's no exception for me just to learn more about it because I'm working in the tech industry, and my blog on my channel, actually I wanted to focus on tech for people, in which I think technology should be more accessible, more acceptable by the general public, rather than like just if you're like a programmer, you know what's going on. But I think this time, I think ChatGPT is really transformational, in which we start to really think again about whether our jobs will be replaced and how the AI technology is going to help our work. And I think it's really a good discussion now because people do not just talk about a particular use case, but more about how this technology is going to help our work, going to transform our everyday lives. So today I will introduce some key concepts of ChatGPT and would like to motivate you guys to get started no matter which industry that you're in. So without further ado, let's get started. So firstly, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. I think this name is so representative of what that is because firstly, generative, it means that it is able to generate original content such as text, video, audio, or even code. So I think a lot of you guys might have already seen people trying to generate content by putting in a prompt. So what we call prompt is that kind of like a question you ask ChatGPT. The quality of the prompt is actually very important if you're looking for a very specific answer, in which I think a lot of people do. For example, I saw that people is trying to draft a wedding invitation. So you might already have got the specific place, specific time, and specific stuff that you want the guest to do. So prompt engineering is also kind of a job where the people are trying to get a good quality prompts in order to get a specific answer from the model. So secondly is pre-trained. Pre-trained meaning that the model is pre-trained on a large, massive amount of text data. It leverages a form of machine learning technique that's called unsupervised learning. So if I want to explain this in a very simple term, so supervised learning, I know quite a lot of people might know it already. One of my projects in the past, it involves classification. So it's a finance project where I need to study lines of data and to understand which expense is fall into which bucket. So it's a very simple classification exercise, but if you're doing that manually, it's going to take a lot of time. So if you get a machine learning and a supervised learning model, you give the model or you give the machine a lot of data to study, just that they learn a pattern of when that expense is going to which bucket. And once that model is well trained, it's able to, rather is an algorithm already defined by the humans. Thirdly, transformer. So of course it's truly transformational, right? With the GPT-4, which is able to talk not like machine, but then it's like a conversation with the computer. That's make it truly transformational. Talking with a machine is not really something new. Like you got Siri, you got chatbot on the internet. It's not something new, but then it's really about the experience of how you interact with the machine that makes it so different. And I'm sure that with GPT-4, in which they got much more data being trained and is so scalable, where the conversation feature is going to be much more obvious. So I think there are mainly two ways that I'm working on to deal with GPT or the GPT models now. So firstly is the prompt engineering that I mentioned earlier, in which you write good quality prompts in order to get the answer that you need. And secondly is really to fine-tune your models. No matter which industry that you're in, you must have got your industry specific data and industry specific problems. You might need a custom model to be your little assistant, to help with your daily work, and it's all about fine-tuning the model. So the model is already very massive, very powerful, but how can you fine-tune the model that's actually specific to your use case and that can actually help with your specific problem? What's even more powerful is that Microsoft got an exclusive license to OpenAI models, already incorporated OpenAI or ChatGPT, and Microsoft 365 suite. This is actually another key milestone for a lot of people, because even if you're not doing prompt engineering, you're not doing fine-tuned model, but then still I'm sure that a lot of people use Word and Excel and PowerPoint, a lot of Microsoft products currently in their work. So Microsoft having this exclusive license and incorporating ChatGPT in their Microsoft Suite is definitely going to bring this technology to a lot of people, general public. And I'm not saying it's just Microsoft, maybe it's just also like Google will be doing the same thing, in which a lot of people are using Google products. And this is how OpenAI or AI technology is going to bring influence to a lot of general public to really to use that in the daily work. It's still up to exploration, of course, and experimentation. And of course, I think the ChatGPT or GPT is going to be more accessible to a lot of people ever since the 3.5 is out. I look forward to keep trying and can share with you guys how's it going with my chatbot. So I'm building a chatbot for a product. So it requires to prepare a lot of text data just as an input to help the GPT model just to learn a bit more how you want to fine-tune it. So I will share a bit more about that later. So that's basically the overall like big summary or snapshot of what ChatGPT is. I hope that helped you or not. Yeah, so that's the end of my sharing, and hope that is useful, and see you next time. Bye!